Okay, you guys, I'm just trying to make sure the stream is set up correctly. Of course, I tried to do a vertical and horizontal. Every time I do this, a vertical one works and not the horizontal, or vice versa. So right now, the horizontal one, we got it going. The vertical one, though, ain't doing what it's supposed to do. So I think we're just gonna do um, the horizontal stream today and leave it at that, which is fine with me, but I always try to do both. Yeah, that's not working at all. Oh well. You guys, welcome. It is the first day of the Ultimate Game Celebration. I hope you guys are excited. This whole week, May 4th to the 11th, I'm going to be streaming along with a whole bunch of different other creators and streamers, showcasing, posting videos, streaming all of these wonderful games that these brilliant developers have created and that are featured on Steam for the festival. So I hope you guys enjoy. This game here is Death and Faeology, and this developer also has two games that are in the festival. This one and Okami Okami, which I am posting later on tonight at 6 p.m. That one will be a recorded um, video to share with you guys. So I hope you guys stay tuned and check that out as well. This game, we are playing a murder mystery visual novels. Y'all know I'm gonna fumble hella words throughout this live stream. But this is a murder mystery visual novel set in the roaring 1920s in New York. Okay. I'm excited, you guys. Hold on, let me make sure everything is set. And then we will start. I'm not sure how long this game is. I'm gonna try and get through it all. If not, I will record the rest, post it all together, so you guys can enjoy that. Gotta, moisten up the throat. Actually, hold on, because this music in this game is bumping. I'm gonna turn that down in OBS, and also, yeah, that gotta. It's all the way down here, and it's still bumping like that. You know what? The music is just meant to be loud. It's all right. It is a-okay. Alright, you guys, let me make sure. Yep, we're set. Y'all know I gotta have the phone here, that way I can read the chat. Alright, let's get started. What is your name? Oh, we can change it. I like that. Okay. Grading first year assignments can be such an exercise in patience. I ought to remind myself that Faeology is a relatively recent science, only a couple of decades old. This university, the only Faeology university in the whole country, was just finished being built in 1905. It is still barely acknowledged in the academic field. More importantly, I've got to keep in mind that children inherit their parents' prejudice and misconceptions. The human world has formed its own notions of fairies. Alas, I find myself unable to suppress a big sigh every time I read references to poison apples ushering princesses in eternal sleep. A reference to the fairies is one I can understand since it was quite the sensation not too long ago. Although it would be clear in the eyes of renowned Faeologists that the photographs are mere imitations. A pity that Sir Doyle was taken in by it. I ought to take a break. The grading session today has left me quite a tangent. My beloved Oz. I suppose having a fairy companion does give one an advantage in identifying genuine fairies. I'd say a break is in order. Wouldn't you, Oz? Oz responds through trills that I've learned to intercept over the decades I've known them. The Cottingley? Okay, the Cottingley fairies again? Yes, and Princess's eternal slumber due to poison apples. We don't care much for human princesses, but making poison apples is rather an easy feat. Shall I turn one of them into a toad in front of the whole class to show them that Fae folk is capable of more than that? At the same time showing them that not all fairies are a friendly bunch. I can't help but chuckle at the thought of that. I believe some might just quit the same day if you do that. Besides, if other Faeologists get a hold of your existence, who knows what they might do to you. Ooh, okay, so we're keeping Oz a secret? Chances are high that people will try to pin you to the corkboard. Ooh, yikes. I would never let that happen. I've always appreciated you pursuing Faeology to ensure that. This is the least I could do. We've known each other since I was 7. You've saved me countless times since then. Well, you could have let me bleed to death when you found me. I would never. I can hear a delightful melody of chirps laced with a touch of whimsy, which makes me feel just a tad fizzy. It seems that even the laugh of a fairy possesses some magical quality. Sorry, y'all. While you're on break, isn't there something else on your agenda this afternoon? Right, Mr. Henkel's letter. Thanks for reminding me. I retrieved the letter from my patron from a desk drawer. I leaned back on my chair and read it aloud to myself. Dear Kia, how long are you going to keep me in suspense? Will you or will you not accompany me to this year's Leo's Gala? You could do a lot worse than forgetting your boring books for a moment in favor of whiling away an evening with champagne and invigorating company. And when I say invigorating, I'm not speaking of those old saws with deep pockets ready to be exploited by way of funding grants for your research. I'm speaking, of course, of yours truly. Do write to me sometime before Saturday. That's tomorrow's date, isn't it? Hi, Minnie. Oh, I know. My delay in responding is entirely by design, I assure you. I'd hate to be getting the looks from the crowd like I'm a wet blanket. Faeology isn't worth my dough, they'd say. Oz's replying chirp is decidedly indignant. I nod to Oz in agreement before returning to the letter. In other news, I've heard that little Ruthie caused a minor ruckus in the city's hottest speakeasy. If your old friend Detective Krush hasn't been in the area at the time as well, who knows what could have happened. Okay, I would have telephoned Ruthie and asked what the story was, like when we were children. However, for better or for worse, we aren't on friendly terms anymore. Speaking of the detective, have the two of you been keeping in contact? He kinda nosy. Dang! He gave me the cold shoulder when I crossed paths with him at last week's benefit. I couldn't help assuming that his frosty treatment of me might have had something to do with you. It's unfortunate that the bonds you have with him should end in such a rather bitter state. As you have told me more than once, when it was good, there was nothing else quite like it. Yet, you speak very little of him now, and I find myself wondering if he still holds a place in that guarded heart of yours. Okay, the letter is signed, yours everlasting, Oscar. I press my pen to a fresh sheet of paper, to commence crafting a response. Just then, a familiar rapping pierces the silence. I glance in the direction of Oz, but they're nowhere to be seen. I put his letter in the drawer before curling out. Come in, Minnie. That's hilarious. Girl, your name in the game. My assistant enters the office. She's careful to snap the door shut behind her. Professor? Yes, Minnie. Were you talking to yourself again? Oh, so she don't know about Oz. Okay. Sometimes I wonder what she might have thought while hearing the mumbling sounds of me speak with Oz. But she knows when not to poke her things into things. What? She knows when not to... She knows when not to poke her nose into things. Oh my goodness. One of the things I like about her, and also what makes her the bee's knees when it comes to being an assistant. Y'all know I be reading too fast and be fumbling. I'd hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he's here. Who? Who the hell? That police detective. Okay. Even as I echo the two words, there's a sinking feeling in my stomach. You know, the man who made you crumple the papers and toss them in the trash can. In the end, we had to stop our subscription. Oof. Detective Theodore? Yes, that's the one. Knowing Theo is here makes my world go momentarily off kilt. It's as if, by the magic of fairy tales, the ink in the letter has manifested him into the reception area. Can't you tell him I'm out delivering a lecture on the far side of campus or something? That depends. Is a lie like that going to deter this man? She is truly wise beyond her years. Probably not. He'll happily go across the entire campus just to torment me, I'm guessing. Alright, let him in. Okay, I barely have time for a steadying breath before Theo barges in. Now, I didn't look too closely at character designs before I started the game. I like to be a little surprised. But I know from the previous game, the Ookami Okami, between the CGs and the character design, fine. Both of them characters. Him, fine. That's what I like to see. He drops a box on my desk right off the bat. There's multiple love interests that you can have in this game to choose from. He's one of them, and guess what? I have to see the other one first. But once I do, then we can make a little choicey choice. Okay. What is this? Why is he in my office? Well, look who the cat dragged in. Not even a how do you do. What? Do niceties suddenly mean something to you? I seem to recall you packing your bags and moving out without so much as a goodbye. Whoa! There was no one to say goodbye to? Didn't you find out I left only a few days later? At least it made it easier for you to leave, didn't it? Ooh, okay. A little ex-lovers back to lovers type of trope. I like that. There's a tinge of hurt in his voice that I'm only able to pick up on because we lived together for several months. As my mouth struggles to catch the words hanging in the air, I feel the piercing icy silence creeping in. I ought to break the silence before I freeze. What's in the box? He lets out a deep sigh that rather sounds like relief. Your things that somehow you didn't take with you when you left. That's why you here? To give me back my stuff? Not to be like, baby, come back home? That handkerchief was a gift from you. I see the corner of his mouth twitch. He's lying. What should I do with this information? Reach out for the box to check or respond in disbelief. I'm gonna check the box. I quickly stretch out my hand to the box, yet he's just as fast in catching my wrist before I can open it. I withdraw my hand from his grip swiftly, like a startled bird soaring into the sky. That truly caught me off guard. I've forgotten what his hands feel like. But can that be a good thing? Let's what's the word I'm looking for? Revisit the way the bodies feel. I was only kidding. Although you really haven't changed much, have you? You just went straight for it. He sounds amused and slightly pleased. I like that. Neither have you. I threw all of it away right after you vanished. That's crazy. Okay, another lying tell of his. Okay. I can't help but sigh at his antics. Of course you did. So what's really in the box? Want to take a guess? I do have an idea. Knowing him, he'd soon rather face the whole Al Capone gang by himself and take their bullets before coming to visit me. This must be way more than our history. Case evidence? I've seen boxes like this before, but never one quite so large. It really is a big case, isn't it? Okay, the biggest of my career. And to come to me of all people, you must be at your wits' ends about it. He looks away as if trying to hide how galling the circumstances at hand are. Truth be told, I'd rather face the whole Al Capone gang. Gee, that stings a little. So why would you... Hold on a minute. You think this has some sort of connection to fairies. He flicks his tongue in expiration. Oh my, it seems I've hit the bullseye. We stopped talking about fairies at some point when we were still together. Those talks always led to heated discussion and then into arguments because nothing I could say could change his skepticism towards mystical beings. This is certainly the chance to tease him about it, though it might be unwise. Okay? What should I do next? Tease him, ask him more about... It literally just said that teasing him is not a good idea. I'm gonna ask more about the thoughts. I know this must be hard for you, but I can't help if you don't say anything. Okay? As difficult as it is to admit, the things you've told me before about fairies and whatnot might have helped to make sense of this case. But I have to say, for the sake of my sanity, I still don't believe they exist. Fair enough. He appears pleasantly surprised by my answer, as though he was expecting a quarrel right around the corner. Little did he know, I've learned that it's moot to try to explain the otherworldly beings to him. So what makes this case so significant? Why do you think it relates to fairies? Are you even allowed to tell me? I hear the sound of a chuckle under the breath like a bolt from the blue. For a brief moment, his gaze on mine seems to revert to how it used to be, until the seriousness returns to his face. First things first, since I'm leading the investigation, I do have some discretion on what details to divulge and to whom. That is, if the confidant can bring value to the investigation. And I've known you for a fact that you can be discreet. Still, I must ask your sworn secrecy on this matter. You got it. So tell me about the case. It's a multiple murder case. Whoa. Ooh. Potentially done by a single culprit? The victims are chiefly middle-aged women residing north in the city. They're from old money families. I see. No wonder you're all tensed up. You're telling me. Chief took me off every other case and insisted I put all of my time and effort into this. It's only a matter of time until the press catches wind and makes a circus of everything. Okay, this is where the fairies come in. I swear I must be losing my mind. Now he draws a long, deep breath. 3 of the victims had a manner of death that the unit has never seen or heard of before. Whoa! The strangest case is the one where the body seemingly hardened into bony tissue overnight. Her corpse almost looked like a carved wooden statue. Yikes. I've heard of something like that before. It's crazy. Of course you have. Don't start now. Without finding out what caused these deaths, and more importantly, who did this, the press could spin the stories out of control. I don't want to imagine the look on victims' families' faces if and when the papers are making a razz of these poor women's death. Besides, what kind of deprived, sick bastard goes around murdering women in such a way? Okay? People shouldn't have to look over their shoulders every night. It's no way to live. It's not just the city. The rise in crime is bleeding him dry too. Yet, I am unsure of what words could soothe those who are fighting it on the front line. I've never been where they are. The frown lines between his eyebrows go grow deeper. You know, considering the victim's background, having these murders being exaggerated in papers would pressure the families to insist on closing the case as soon as possible, no matter the cost, no matter who's to blame. You're right. Innocent people are going to bear the brunt of this. This is a terrible situation. My arms cross on instinct, trying to hold. Okay. If there's any, is there anything you can do? I'm just one man. Try as I might, I can't keep those rotten police brass from lining their pockets. Nothing but a pack of low lives in high places. He exhales. Okay. Then he fell into silence yet again. Words seem to have abandoned me, as I can't shake the feeling of helplessness crawling under my skin. After a moment, he meets my eyes once more. Well, you're a good listener. Better than most. I don't mind it at all. Thanks. Are we gonna help him? He clears his throat once more. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks. This box includes case files, crime scene photos, a couple of blood samples, which I was able to request to bring to you, and several other pieces of evidence. Other than the strange manners of death I've said, Forensic was puzzled too by the blood samples. How so? One of them doesn't contain iron. Nothing surprises you, does it? I'd bring up something from my fairy books, but you'd always find a way to deny it. You're right about that. I'm still investigating the possibility of unknown drugs or poison that somehow cause these oddities, but I'd be a fool to not go after my hunches and look into all possibilities. What about robbery? It's ruled out. No fingerprints, no evidence of breaking in. Nothing had been stolen. And motives? Revenge? We're still interviewing the city's elites, looking for the possible motives, but it takes time. You know how it is. Yes, of course. They're very busy. Speaking of city elites, I know people who can be very helpful in getting some inside information. Ooh, expression turned sour. Damn! Who? That man? Whoa! Why, you jealous? I said people. But yes, that man would be particularly helpful in this matter. What's the attitude? Okay, it is about the guy who sent us the letter. Theo said something about Mr. Henkel feeling off and always hated it whenever I had something to do with him, though it might just be jealousy in disguise. You know I'm right. Even if he's barely in the newspapers, he's most likely at the pinnacle of high society, and I don't think he'll mind if I ask a few things of it. Why, of course. He's always got a soft spot for you. Oh, man's is jealous. He's probably carrying a torch for you for a long time, judging by the way he follows you everywhere. Whoa. Well, he happened to be interested in Faeology and has a lot of money to allow its development. Look at you, all ready to defend him. What, are you to an item now? Just say you want me back. It's that simple. It's really that simple. I might have steered this reunion right back to where we were months ago by bringing up Mr. Henkel. But it was necessary to mention to him. I don't know anyone else who would have that much information about high society. Besides, there has never really been anything, even if we did go to fundraising events together from time to time. It was strictly business. Yet again, Theo seems to lose his reason whenever we talk about Mr. Henkel. I don't have the time or energy to argue with him. What should I do? Try to make him see reason, explain the truth about the relationship with Mr. Henkel. Explain the truth. So we're just gonna say we go to events with him? Try to make him see reason? What, we're just gonna be like, you're jealous for no reason? I'm gonna explain the truth. Let's be honest, because I want him bad. We're not anything. We go to fundraising events from time to time, but these are work. I've got to get money for my research from somewhere, you know? Our relationship is strictly business. He gives me a dirty look. Excuse me? I'm giving Theo a play-by-play on how to win me back. Don't be jealous asking me if I'm in a relationship with the dude. I'm telling you, I'm not in a relationship with dude. And you still talking about, sure, I believe you all sarcastically. Do you want me back or not? Are we having the ex-lovers to lovers trope or not? What's going on here? Besides, what I do with him is none of your beeswax. Oof. His voice becomes even more irritated. That's right. It's none of my concern. Do whatever you want with him. Just make sure he can keep his mouth shut about the case. I can't help but groan at the turn of events. See, I'm sitting here being honest, letting him know what it is. Letting him know that door's still open, and he slammed that shit in my face. Ugh. While we're on the subject of useful allies, you mentioned before about blood that doesn't contain iron. I can take the blood samples to the university's chemist. She's good at what she does. And she's from a rich family. I'll trust your judgment. You won't trust that. But not what I said about... What is his name? Oscar? I take it this is you agreeing to help with the case. That's right. There are lives at stake. He lets out a soft smile as though in quiet agreement with what I said. Thank you. Well, if you think it'll be helpful, you can even ask the people you mentioned what they know using the evidence items. But the case files are for your eyes only. Understood. He has fallen silent somehow, leaving an uncomfortable hush in the air once more. Does this mean you'd be willing to hear about fairies? About Faeology? That depends. If this was indeed fairies' doings, and if through your investigation you can provide solid theories on three things: the culprit, their methods of murder, and their motives. Supported by evidence, of course. I'm sticking with the idea that there's a logical explanation, an earthly one, for now. Okay, fair enough. I'd wager that you... No, we have approximately 24 hours. That's it. I can feel the papers are close to getting the story. I'm thinking we get at least a little 48 hours. 24? While you're investigating this lead, I'll look further into unusual drugs and poisons. How about it, Faeologist? Do you dare take on this challenge? Hell yeah, I'll help without being challenged. I would help, because like I said, I want him. Even without being challenged, I'd still help you, you know. Of course I know. Do you? Well, if you need anything from me, you can just ring me. Very well. But you need to promise me that you'll not just hear me out, but also keep an open mind on fairy topics if I succeed in what you ask. I promise. But I can't promise not to scoff from time to time. That's good enough. I ought to get going. Okay, seems like some detective has been following the tiny part of Faeology in the newspaper. Says you. See, you cute when you smiling and stuff like that. All that jealousy, ugly resting bitch face is crazy. Just let me in. Come back. I got you. Open arms. The one who had to stop the daily paper subscription. Oof. How do you... Before I could finish, he had walked towards the door and opened it. See you tomorrow around the same time. We can't get a little handshake? I know it's too much for a hug. A little handshake? I exclaimed with a hint of frustration. After some thought, I realized that he must have noticed the missing newspaper on my desk and my assistant's. Reading papers was part of my daily routine when we were together. I can only shake my head in disbelief. He hasn't changed much either. As I'm reminiscing, Oz reveals himself again now that we're alone. That was quite the reunion. It was quite the reunion indeed. He hasn't changed at all, has he? I suppose, although you don't have an obligation to help him. I know, but I've already agreed. Very well, just don't overwork yourself. Okay, thanks, Oz. I find myself slowly drifting into thoughts. A victim's manner of death, hardening into bony tissue, could be one of the fairy curses. If only I could ask Oz whether a fairy was behind us and which one, but it's not that simple. Even if they are my longtime companion, fairies have their own rules about exchanging favors, and they are secretive about their land too. A favor that doesn't come cheap. At least I'm stocked up on milk and honey for small requests. Speaking on requests, I should get started on the letter. For some reason, he seems to be more insistent this time that I come with him to the gala. I retrieve a paper and pen, and I mumble to myself as I write. Dear Mr. Henkel, I hope your recent forays into high society has proven more fruitful than they have in... Should you? No, be realistic. More fruitful than they have in the half a decade or so you've been alive. Believe it or not, I have been considering whether the merits of trying to impress the wealthiest folk of the city outweigh the obvious indignities. Okay, I'm still weighing my options about this gala. How do I want to play this? Be coy, be apologetic. Are we supposed to be flirting with this man in order to get into this gala? Be apologetic for what? For us being wishy-washy about going? I'll pick that for now. I still don't have a definite answer for you at present, I'm afraid. About Ruthie, I can't say I'm surprised to hear about her latest flirtations with disaster. Since we were both toddlers, she frequently found herself in trouble, excuse me. Okay, I would love to telephone her and ask her how she's doing, but we drifted apart a long time ago. I'm glad to hear that Theo was there to smooth things over for her. Okay. I suppose he asked because it was meant to uncover whether I still care about Theo. Hell yeah! He and I are old news? No! As for Theo, I must be honest that sometimes my thoughts wander back to him. I want Theo badly. However, such thoughts are fleeting at best. I have not a single moment of regret over the decision to end it. Oof. Upon signing off, I seal the letter with wax. I then turn towards my trusted Fae. Oz, can I please trouble you with something? You want me to deliver this letter, don't you? Indeed, time is of the essence here. As always, please take care not to catch anybody's attention. He'll see it by tomorrow morning, I'm sure. Okay. I'll see you later today. Okay. I watch as Oz flits out of my office window and vanishes. Once the Fae is gone, I call my assistant to my office. Okay, we're looking at stuff in the box now. Carefully, I extract the blood samples that Theo mentioned. They appeared to be stored in test tubes. Would you mind asking Dr. Rayford to analyze these blood samples? As I hand the samples to her, I notice that she looks like she wants to say something. Over the 2 years we have worked together, I've picked up on a few of her tells. What is it, Minnie? How'd it go with the detective, if you don't mind me asking? Oh no, not at all. He's the same as always. There's lingering beef, of course, but we sort of managed to put it aside for something more important. He has brought me a rather significant case that he suspects might have some supernatural elements, as hard as it was for him to admit it. Oh, good for him. I can't help but grin at her remark. I'm glad it didn't end in a shouting match, at least. Yes, me too. I'll deliver the blood samples now, Professor. Thank you, Minnie. Minnie hurries out. I'm alone in my office again. Remembering the conversation about the case, I'm suddenly engulfed by unexplainable, eerie feelings. I should start the investigation right away. Yeah, we can look at the stuff in the box. I like that. Drag and drop items from the inventory to the desk. Okay? Select an item in the records, then press the icon to open. I'm not going to remember any of this. Hover the magnifying glass. I hope we can come back to this. Like, use tab and see it again, because oof. Hover the magnifying glass above an evidence to access the information, okay? Use the black light to see invisible things. Read the encyclopedia to gain additional information. Press the button to end the investigation. Okay. Tools. Yeah, see, help. Need that soon. Not now. Okay. I didn't need that yet. These are the case files. These are pictures, a coin, a book, a ring, and something else. Okay. Case 1. Audrey. Let me open it. Hello? Can I not read it? Hold on. Nah, I gotta go back to the help. Drag an item. Okay, drag and drop. I did that. Select an item in the records. Ah, okay. No! Pressed it. I'll take out the magnifying glass too. Hold on. No. That ain't do it either. Okay. Let me do the pictures of something first, cause that ain't doing it. What is this? We request. Oh my goodness. I can read. My patron invited me to this event. Okay, this is the same event he was talking about. I'm still uncertain if I want to attend. You better get there. The 20th of October. Okay. Can I put it back? I can. Okay, so do we just hover over this? We do. Okay. Name Audrey, 51 years old. Manner of death, hardening into bony tissue. From afar, the corpse looks like a carved wooden statue. Time of death, around 1 p.m. The reports. The victim reported hearing strange noises and seeing strange phenomena in the days immediately preceding her death. The interviewing officer suspected, due to the victim's strange behavior, involvement in... Okay. No traces of drug or poisons. Further autopsy is still in progress. Wooldridge. Now that's a familiar name. What's so familiar about her? Who's this? Susan Moore, 40 years old. Manner of death, refusing to drink anything but her own blood. Time of death, around 11 a.m. Oh my goodness. The victim's mother reported that the victim was suffering with a prolonged paranoid episode in the days leading to her death. Was acting erratically and saying strange things. Despite the manner of death, there is no sign of dehydration. Oof. No traces of drugs or poison. Blood type unknown. Other blood-related investigations are underway. Blood does not contain iron. The blood she was drinking or her blood? Doesn't contain iron. I need clarification on that. Edna, 64 years old. Manner of death, gnawing her own fingers down to the bone. This is crazy. Time of death, around 10 a.m. The police report. A friend of the victim reported that she visited the victim's residence to drop off an invitation shortly prior to the victim's death. Okay, the same invitation we've gotten, I'm assuming. The friend also wanted to check on the victim's well-being, as she allegedly been acting strange at the party the night before. According to the friend, she witnessed an emotional charged conversation between the victim and a young factory girl. However, the friend didn't think much of the interaction at the time. At the crime scene, the invitation card dropped off by the friend was seen close to the victim's corpse and was taken in as evidence. No traces of drugs or poison. Blood type unknown. Other blood. Okay. Blood does not contain iron. Okay, so both of their bloods does not. The blood samples don't contain iron. Cases 2 and 3. Okay, Mary, 19 years old. She's younger than all the rest of them. Death from shock due to arsenic poison around 6 p.m. Hers is the only one at night. A young factory girl. Despite not fitting the trend of the previous victim profiles, she was included in this case because she was seen having a heated conversation with the third victim. Okay. Her father described her as not acting like herself in the days before she passed. Shortly before her death, the victim visited the police station. According to the officer, she seemed to be on the brink of confessing something when a look of terror suddenly crossed her face. She then appeared to change her mind. She hurriedly left the station without saying anything further to the interviewing officer. Forensic. Prior to death, the victim suffered from violent abdominal cramping, followed by diarrhea and vomiting. Oof. Traces of said poison can be found in blood type A and the glass she was drinking from near the time of the death. Blood contains iron and other elements commonly found in human blood. So are these two fairies? Let me look at this invitation again with the black light. Did I get something? It made a noise. Yeah, why is it making... Okay, wait. And honestly, that noise scared the crap out of me. I'm not even gonna front. Okay, let me move this back over and do it again. There go the noise. Okay, no. It's going off, but it's not saying anything. Well, I guess it ain't that important. I'll go back to it. Let's look at these pictures. This is the one where her body was hardening. Is there anything on here? No? Okay. Do I need it? The first victim's crime scene. This is the first time I've encountered something, okay? I feel sick to my stomach. No one deserves to die like this. Something's odd with her fingers. What's odd with the fingers? Are you gonna tell me more or what? I guess not. Let's put that back. Let's look at this one. Yikes. This seems to be the second victim's crime scene. Her complexion, it's not quite the pale hue of death. Far paler than should be possible. Almost drained of color. Something's odd with her fingers. Everything odd with these mofos' fingers. See, now I gotta compare. Hold on. No, don't read it to me again. Okay. Ooh, look at their fingers. Okay, hers are worse. It's the third victim's crime scene. Her fingers. I've seen corpses like this before, but oof. There's another strange thing about her fingers. She has 6 fingers. They all have 6 fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, she has 5. Whoa. She has 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She might have the thumb sitting over there. Okay. They all have 6 fingers? This is the 4th victim. Okay, poor girl. It's a cruel thing to see. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with her fingers, huh? Nope. She got the normal amount. Okay, let me use anything here. No, okay. Nothing there, nothing there. Okay. Let me put these pictures away for right now. That's so crazy. Who this? So this middle-aged woman in the collared blouse is the victim. I guess this elderly man in the suit is her father. This elderly woman wearing the cardigan is her mother, I suppose. Y'all got 6 fingers? I can't tell. Okay, the middle-aged woman with the pearls is the victim. I guess this elderly man with the facial hair is her father. The elderly woman with the fur coat is her mother. The other man in the darker suit is maybe her brother. How many fingers y'all got? Now I'm looking at everybody's fingers. Y'all sus. What is this? Never seen a coin like this. It looks rare. Is there something on it? Ooh. Oh, it's burning. Take it off. The texture looks interesting. It just burned. We're not gonna talk about that. Makeup. This has to be an iron corn or something. What the hell? Parasitic Fae. A failed transformation magic? We just cooked its ass. Yo. There's no mistaking it. They are exactly the same as the parasitic Fae I cataloged several months ago. What happened to you, poor Fae? Of course, no response is forthcoming. Did we just cook this little thing? I'm sorry, I don't like bugs. I gotta... I've seen this makeup powder somewhere recently. It's from Nectar Bell. This must belong to one of them, but which? I wonder if the owner likes the design and likes the box design and carrying it around in her pocket since it's already used up. Perhaps the chemist has some interesting insight since her family owns the brand. Okay, nothing on that, I guess. Let's look at the ring next. And I kind of want to use the encyclopedia as well. Parasitic, Fae and insects. Beneath a special black light, some species of butterfly can glow by having chemicals. Okay, which fairies also have. That's why we could see it. Fae, black light. Okay. Cold iron. Beneath the black light, scribe magic appears blue, warrior magic red, and parasitic magic purple or violet, which we can see there. Hold on. What is it? Warrior magic red and purple for parasitic magic. Okay. Okay. We getting somewhere. Scribe, warrior. There we go. Protective of their troops. Humans entering their territory, even if accidentally. Many face elimination. Parasitic. Fairies with limited magic consistently need to feed off other sources of energy, mostly drained from humans, such as blood, hormones, emotions, and life force. Changeling? That's what they are! They got the 6 fingers! Okay, wait. This is serious business! There are unconfirmed rumors that some high faes like to capture humans and bring them into the fairyland for purposes such as forced reproduction. Oh my goodness. The fairies leave changelings behind to mask their absence. Typically of the parasitic type, magically transformed to look almost exactly like an abducted human. The enhancement always goes awry. Okay, abnormalities include an extra finger. Metallic objects. Okay, that's why we can see it underneath the blue lights. So these people with the friggin'... These 3. This one, and this one? Y'all not real, huh? This is crazy. There's something on that ring. It has to be, dog. Yo, this is serious business. I'm thinking it's gonna be a little cute, and it is a cutesy little romance thing. I can't wait till it kicks off with Theo, cause like I said, need him bad. But yo, this is like, I know it said murder mystery, but there's a murder mystery. Okay, a wedding ring seems to be made out of gold. Yup, let's look at that bad boy under the light. Tell me something about it. You see that purple? We're not gonna talk about it? Hello? Are we not gonna talk about it? Why are we not talking about it? It's purple. Or is it red? It's something. It's glowing. Why are we not talking about it? Well, I guess we don't got nothing to say about that. Put this back. Put the book back. Fuck it. Okay, let's put all this stuff back. Magnifying glass. Oh, was there something on here? No, right? I mean, it clicked, but... Okay, nothing about that for real, for real. A wedding ring, it ain't gonna say nothing else. This is lighting up the same way this is lighting up. I'm confused. Do I have to put them together? We gotta look at it at the same time? No. Okay. Fuck it. Let's put this back. Put this back. That's why I wasn't going back, because this is an encyclopedia. Duh! Oh, we can put the Fae in there. Okay. Let me see this one more time. Hold on. Use the black light to see invisible things. I wonder, because I don't understand why nothing was said about... Yeah, nothing being said. Alright, I guess we just go on with that. Oh, I didn't mean to press help again. Damn it! Are you sure you want to end the investigation now? I think we got everything. I think we got everything. A knock on the door makes me glance up from my desk. I realize the sun has set while I've been absorbed in the investigation. Dr. Rayford has arrived to drop off the blood samples, and she wants to talk to you. Already? Yes, she's just outside the door. I must say, I'm pleasantly surprised at her work speed. Alright, send her in. Minnie kinda cute. She returns to the reception area. What up, Miss Florence? It has been only 3 years since she has worked at this university, but she has proven her reliability more often than not. Good evening, Professor. Good evening, Doctor. Okay, she's also giving me the lab report. Here you go. So what have you found? The most peculiar thing is there's no iron in one of these blood samples. Say, is this fairy related? Her question prompts me to ask myself, to what extent of the case... Oof. Theo did say that I may ask the patron or her for information using some of the evidence. Although she has knowledge of fairies and their curses, can she handle seeing crime scene photos? As I return from my thoughts, I notice her voice has taken on a higher pitch. This is so exciting. Are you working with the police? Does this mean that we'll get better credibility in the eyes of the public? Oh my, we're gonna be in the newspaper, aren't we? Oh, she's excited. Yikes. It's good that she's excited about the possibility of advancement for Faeology, but her cheerful disposition can sometimes be rather overstimulating. As if on cue, a knock on the door arrived to spare me. This specific sound is familiar. More familiar than when my assistant knocks. Theo. Boo. You got some competition, yo, Oscar. Ooh, special delivery indeed. And what, pray, might you be bringing for me? Is it you? Are you the special delivery, Mr. Henkel? If you wish to call me special, then I certainly won't stop you. This is about to be way more easier than being with Theo. Oscar ready to drop them drawers. Theo, we gotta... But I did bring a box of huckleberry muffins for your office. Oh, ain't that nice? Minerva was enamored by their buttery scent. She's currently feasting on them. We can only hope she'll leave a muffin apiece for the rest of us. Oh, hello there, Florence. I didn't expect to see you in this office. Fancy seeing you here. Although you do have a habit of making this office your sole stop on campus. That's just because this is where all my money went. A well-spent investment nonetheless. So, Florence, what's been occupying your time as of late? Okay, because Theo did say that we can talk about this. So since they're both here, we should be able to have a conversation. The usual matters, I suppose. I tried asking your father about you at the last soiree. However, he confessed he didn't have the faintest ideas. You must tell me about your chemical research one of these days. The colorful pursuits of you young academics thrill me to no end. How old is he? Because she looked pretty up there in age as well. And he just called her young. He might be older, but he fine. Ugh. A more playful giggle escapes her lips this time. Are y'all flirting right in front of me? I'm afraid I'm all tapped out financially speaking. Oh, I'm not buying that for not 1 second. He's telling fibs, isn't he, Professor? Well, now, I certainly don't want to get in the middle of money talk of the rich. I wish I had that information, Doctor. It would make proposing for research much easier, with a bit of delicate leverage, naturally. I feel I should ask the reason he's here before this conversation takes an odd turn. On another note, Mr. Henkel, did you get my letter? Is that the real reason you dropped by? Upon recalling that I asked Oz to enter the letter into his mailbox only this afternoon, I'm about to retract these questions. Unexpectedly, though, he bows his head. Your words have always had this immersive impact on me. Perhaps that is why you're such an effective educator. Whenever I encounter your written language, I long to hear it spoken post-haste. Are you putting a spell on your letters by any chance? I think you're the one with all the spells, Mr. Henkel. Your muffins, for one, have always been succeeded in getting Minnie's guard down. Oh dear, you two are making me blush. I suppose it's time I take my leave and let you both be. I'm due somewhere shortly anyhow. No! I thought we were having a conversation about this stuff. Oh no, that might not be necessary. I can't stay long either. Thank you. It's difficult to maintain eye contact with him, but even harder to look away. I wonder what I should do. I ought to discuss the case, but both of them seem to be in a hurry. Should I tell Mr. Henkel to return another day, since I need to have an important conversation with Dr. Rayford right now? Oof. Or should I dismiss the chemist and meet with my patron now? There are benefits to either choice. Okay, soliciting her opinion on the case might be a good idea. She could share more insight on the chemistry side of the case. Okay, on the other hand, Mr. Henkel is also a valuable candidate for an interview. His connections with high society knows no bounds. Since he has been funding my research for a long time, he's also more familiar with fairy topics. Whom should I interview? Oof. Okay. Mr. Henkel knows more about the people and fairies. But Dr. Rayford just did the stuff on the blood, so she would know that, in addition to whatever's in the lab report. Oh, I don't know which one. I feel like I would have another chance to ask Oscar something than I would do. Oh. I'm gonna pick Oscar. Oof! I'm gonna pick Oscar. Okay. Not at all. I'd be delighted. I turned back towards the chemist. Dr. Rayford, thank you again for analyzing these samples. Please don't let me keep you any longer. I'm always happy to help. Why couldn't we have the conversation with the both of them? What do you want to talk about, my dear Faeologist? I gestured towards the large box on my desk. I should have saved that to go back and picked the other one. Oh well. It's a box of evidence for a multiple murder case. Yo, why do you both get jealous whenever we talk? Oh my goodness. He bought it to me this morning. You haven't seen the detective in months, have you? How'd that visit go? Mind your business. Wait a minute. We're here to talk about the case, not about my relationship. I'm gonna say better than I could have hoped. It wasn't really all that bad. I expected more bitterness, okay? He was more composed than I thought. Yet, perhaps it was because of this particular case weighing on his mind. But it's hard to tell. Oh, he listened to me quietly, but it's hard to tell what he's thinking. Alright, tell me about this case. How can I help? After binding him to secrecy, I rattle off the basic facts of the homicides. I believe I might have heard a bit of this case. Not the gory details, mind you. Just little whispers here and there. But he can tell us because they changelings. Those weren't the real people. 6 fingers? Yeah, no. I wanted to show you something. Please share any knowledge you might have about the evidence. Okay. We didn't get to look at the blood yet, though. Damn it. Okay. Look at... Okay, the one with the fingers. Oh, how awful. I was familiar with Madame Moore. Through the grapevine, I heard the devastating news of her death. Okay, he interacted with her often, and her spouse. They're both gracious individuals. That's what you got to say? Did you know this woman? I did. She was a fine, upstanding lady. She certainly didn't deserve such a gruesome ending. She was known among her peers for her rare coin collection. From what I've heard, you can see her collection display in every inch of her house. We don't have the coin anymore, so I can't even be like, this coin? How terrible. I knew Madame Wooldridge. As you undoubtedly know, her family hosts the city's biggest charity event every year. They tell me the fundraiser will be moving forward despite the tragedy. Somebody died and used to having a party? According to my resources, she loved that event dearly. Okay, I guess if that's the reason. Knowing this woman as I did, I doubt it. If it would help, however, I heard several elites are members. Okay. I've only heard the name, the Golden Dawn. Hardly anyone knows about its existence. But you do have your way of knowing, don't you? I do indeed. Okay, we're gonna show him the bug. Isn't this a parasitic fae? Are they the ones killing the poor ladies? I'm rather surprised that he is able to identify a fae with just one look. I suppose he did read everything from my research reports. Oh, ask him if you know her. I doubt it, though. Are you familiar with this girl? No, I've never seen her before. Whoever this girl is, I express my sincerest condolences. This is the first time Mr. Henkel and I are talking about something this gruesome, even though I've known him a long time. Yet, as he spoke his condolences while seeing the corpse's photographs, his face remained blank, as if the words never reached his expressions. His eyes didn't even flinch. How odd. I wonder if this lack of empathy is just a trait of being in the upper class. Wait a minute, you don't care about any of this? Oh, ask him about these people. Mrs. Moore and her family. What can you tell me about the people in this picture? The elderly couple are her adoptive parents. I've never really talked to them, but I hear they're kind, wonderful people. Biologically, Madame Moore was more so a miracle baby to wealthy parents of advanced names. When they passed away, she had no other family members by blood. She was thus adopted by a middle-class couple who were trusted employees of her biological parents. Okay, this is her widower in the photograph. He's said to be extremely close to her parents-in-law. this picture then. Okay, Mrs. Woldridge. All the faces here are familiar to me. I must express my deepest sympathies when I see them at the gala. Can you tell me more about the people in this picture? They're perhaps one of the most prominent and powerful families in the city. The father is the richest one in the world. He devotes his time so much to his wealth and lavish charitable endeavors. The woman is the victim's stepmother. The victim's father divorced. Okay. The younger man is the victim's stepbrother. You know what that is? Is this the one from that popular brand, Nectar Blue? That's the one. Although this is all I know about it. That's it. Okay. Did we axe everything? I'm trying to make sure. Look at the ring. My, this is very bold of you. Now is not the time. Are you sure you want to be bound to me forever? Says you, asking that question knowing full well this ring isn't mine. So whose is it? Mrs. Moore. All I can tell you is that she and her husband were always attached at the hip. 2 peas in the pod. So how he ain't see her die? Why are you showing me this invitation? Should I lock it down? Confirm the date. Keep him hanging. Oh! I feel like we have to go for the sake of the investigation. But what if it comes up that we get to go with Theo? Let me keep him hanging for right now. Rather than confirming or denying everything. Still playing hard to get, I see. Okay, I think I showed him everything. He wouldn't know about the blood because... Okay, that should be it then. That didn't tell me shit! Earlier you mentioned you had a prior arrangement, so I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your time. It just told us who the people in the picture were. And now What's-Her-Face had a coin collection, which we know because we damn near burnt the coin and then saw the Fae. I'm delighted I could be of assistance. Scratch that. I feel like that would have been a little better than us asking the chemist. I forgot that she said that the makeup is her family's company. So we would have been able to ask about the makeup, the blood samples, and the lab report. From him, we got the names of the people and like their family members and whatnot. I'm alone again, but not for long. My assistant pops into the office. Professor, I'm heading home soon. Is there anything else I can do to help? I think I'll stay and work for a little longer. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow, Professor. Have a safe trip home. Damn. Hopefully we get the chance to ask about them friggin' blood samples, dog. Okay. Let me look at this one more time. Okay. Tools, magnifying glass, and this. Lab report. The content is quite similar to the forensic report. While elements similarly found in human blood, such as all that, are found in the third victim's blood, it doesn't contain iron. Moreover, found is a higher percentage than that in human blood, making it possible for this blood to be of a fairy. The fourth victim's blood appears to be normal human blood, with iron present. Traces of arsenic are also found. Arsenic? Yeah, there we go. Although there is some new information, I had expected the report to be more detailed. Okay. You know what I think? We would have been able to ask about the makeup. It probably had something in there. I've read somewhere that most insects don't have iron in their blood. That's all you gotta say about that? I can't even begin to imagine how her husband must feel losing his soulmate that way. Let me look at this one more time, now that we said something else about it. Yeah, it's just clicking. It doesn't say anything else. Are we not gonna talk about this? We seeing that it's purple and red, just like everything else. Yeah, this shit's like double clicking and it's not saying anything. Okay. Let me look at this one more time. Weak against iron. Okay, scribe magic appears. Okay, warrior magic is red. Okay, so it has warrior and parasitic magic. Okay, and we do know these mofos are friggin' changelings. Put this back, put that back. Tools. Okay. It's the next afternoon. I should be grading assignments or reviewing that lecture I'm going to deliver come Monday. Instead, I find my attention straying more and more towards the office door. I voice my frustrations to good old Oz. Theo would probably arrive at any moment. I can't stop wondering whether my explanation would be good enough for him. In the past, no sort of explanation ever seemed to please him when it came to fairies, and why should it do so now? This time, he came to you bearing in mind the possibility of fairy involvement. He'd be a fool if he discredits you so soon. My fairy companion chippering becomes increasingly stern this time. But you need to get yourself together. You must remain steadfast and strong when facing the detective. Don't permit your voice to falter when presenting your findings. I know. I can't let myself unravel at this point. It's just that he never solicited my opinion quite in this matter. A professional insight, no less. All the more reason to be calm as you can be. Maintaining your composure is essential to delivering a persuasive argument. But no matter what happens, at least you know you tried. At the end of the day, he's the one who needs to solve this case. I'm not a detective. I'm simply a professor sharing my perspective. Thank you, Oz, for always talking me off the ledge. Just then, someone knocks on my door. That's my cue to sail past your window ledge. Best of luck. I whispered a hurried goodbye to my fairy friend. I'll see you tonight, Oz. Once Oz has flown out, I direct my attention towards the door. Come in. My assistant marches in. Professor, you have a visitor. The detective? Minnie nods. All right, send him in. Minnie nods once again and walks out of the room. Theo paces around a little bit after strolling in. He appears quite distracted. He finally stops and opens his mouth. So what have you learned? I take a deep breath. Here it goes. I have to present my findings to perhaps the most sought-after detective in the police force. Theo investigates cases right when the crime scenes unfold. Meanwhile, as a professor, my expertise primarily revolves around the nubilis, the theoretical. I must do my best to stay calm and collected, just as Oz suggested. Sorry, y'all. I've read the case files. Victim's odd behavior shortly before death could be due to hypnotic spells from fairies. The fourth victim went to the police station. But before she could say anything, it seems she saw something that scared her away. What if she saw something not human? In the manner of death. He interrupts me before I can finish. I've no time for assumptions. The papers telephoned our department this morning, said they found out about some of these deaths. So that's why he looks agitated. The chief is preparing a statement for tomorrow regarding this, so I'll just cut to the chase. Is there fairy involvement? Hell yeah. Yes, I'm certain of it. I can tell his interest is piqued. However, I'd like to first lay out the basics, since I'm pretty sure you've discarded the things I've told you in the past. So far, we identified 3 classes of fairies: warrior, scribe, and parasitic fae. Warriors have strong offensive magic, scribe magic tends to be defensive, and parasitic magic as well, parasitic. We Faeologists have developed a tool called Blacklight to detect traces of fae magic, and can even be detected through photograph if the magic is especially strong. I should have looked at the pictures with the light again! Fuck! Warrior magic glows red, scribe magic blue, and parasitic magic shines purple. I found that seemingly fairies of one specific class are behind this. It was a mixture though! It was a mixture though! I should have looked at the fucking photos with the black light. And I should have been saving it so I can go back. Ooh, so that's why it was a mixture between warrior and... I'm gonna save it here. Can I save it here? Save it! Okay. Oh, I'm gonna pick warrior right now because they died. Because it did say they were killed them off rip. But it can also be parasitic. I should have looked at the fucking photos with the black light. It's between these two, y'all. Ugh, we about to mess up the investigation. Most of those things were purple though. More purple than red. I'm gonna say parasitic. What is the evidence? Oh no! I clicked it too fast. The dead fae. I put the dead fae beneath the black light. This is a dead parasitic fae. Look, it glows under the blue light. Is this dead bug the one behind the murders? What about this red gold? Fuck! He's disappointed. I knew I should have clicked one. Either you're missing important things or you just don't take this as seriously as I thought. If I could just reinvestigate. Oh my goodness. We're running out of time. I couldn't find proof of it being unusual drugs of poison either. So you know it's fake. Just let me look again. Honestly, I can't believe this. You've dedicated many, many years to the study. Ooh! I know you're clever, capable, competent, but you ought to consider changing your field. Offer one mistake. I feel like I'm starting to see red. I can't believe he's bringing up my profession this way. I know I messed up, but you just crossed the goddamn line. It hits me all over again how easy it is for him to make me feel really small. I'm just laying down the facts. He says it so nonchalantly. I can't do this anymore. My anger is beyond containment. I never want to see you again. Oof. Fuck. Damn, that was out of my ear. I find myself... Oh my goodness. Perhaps this is for the best. After all, there's a reason I walked away and it's all coming back to me. As I was steadying my breath to calm down, I realized something. I haven't explained the findings on the blood sample, how it could be fairy blood, and the significance of the scribe... Okay, sigils on the family. I ain't see none of that. I was not looking properly. Even more, Mr. Henkel gave me top secret information. I didn't have a chance to tell him that. Well, so be it. I'm not gonna write him or telephone him. Perhaps I'll just write an anonymous letter to the homicide department. Okay, we're grading papers. I'm no more angry at Theo than I am myself. How did I fail this? Why wasn't I thorough enough? I should have looked at the pictures one more time. Still, that doesn't give him the right to talk to me like that. I bury my face in my hands as I realize I've merely been spinning in circles. Yes, it's a bad time. What? I knocked, then waited for a minute. Excuse me, it then occurred to me that perhaps you didn't hear me. My mind is more than a little occupied. Don't ask me about him right now. I figured that the meeting didn't go well. No, it didn't, bro. No. I can stay longer today if you need to talk. Fetch us a bottle of what? Any preference? Whatever bottle is the biggest. Mood. Or whichever has the highest alcohol content. Ooh. Ending number 6. Bottle blues. Ugh! Okay. We're doing that again. I can't remember which save this was. Hold on. Let me see this. Yes, I'm certain of it. I can tell his... Okay. Okay. No. We're gonna do that all over again. All over again. How much time do I have? Okay. We're gonna do that again. I wonder if I can skip. I'm gonna skip. It's gonna look weird. But I'm gonna skip till we get to the investigation part. We saw all of this, so I'm skipping it. Reach out for the box to check. I'm gonna pick everything I had already picked, except for when it comes to the investigation part. And also when it comes to the part with choosing between the doctor or Oscar. I'm gonna choose the doctor this time, just so y'all know. Reach out for the box. Okay, ask him more about his thoughts. I didn't tease him the first time. Damn, he moving. Explain the truth. Like I said, I'm doing the same thing. I'll help even if I'm chatting. Okay, skip. I said be realistic, be apologetic. Damn. That writing noise in my ear. Okay. We gotta do this again. I figured out that they were changelings. I did all that, but yeah. We gotta look at it a little better. Also, these pictures again. I didn't see any sigils. In this. Right. In the ring. Okay, tools. Let me look at the picture. Oh, brother. Come on now. Okay, third victim. The fingers are off. There's 6 of them bad boys. This is the girl. Okay. Okay, these 3 have 6 fingers. They're changelings. Let's look at the ring. Seems to be made out of gold. Okay, let me look at this. Rare coin. Because what's her name collects them. I can't remember her name right now, but we know she collects it. Give me this. No, give me this. There we go. It's red there, so I should have known. What's happening? Hello? Keep cooking that shit. The texture looks interesting. Okay. Cook it some more. There you go. I've seen this before. Yes, we know. Come on now. Ain't not gonna say nothing about that? Okay. But see, I did look at these pictures, dog. There was nothing there. Wait, what's that on her hand? Okay, hold on. Okay! It's blue. You got some on your shit? They do too! I saw something on their hands. Do you have one? No. Damn it. Move out the way. Okay, she doesn't have anything. Let me check this one more time. Nothing. Nothing there either. Okay. Let's put these tools away. Let's put these back. Let me also look at this one more time. I think we're good, but oh, I put that shit up in there too. Tools, the blue light. Excuse me. Nothing there. Let me grab this. Okay, nothing there. Okay. Put that back, put this back, tools, put this back. Open this up. Okay. The blue sigils were what? Scribe magic. Oh gosh. However, this kindness is only shown in the form of favor exchanges, and they do not go out of their way to help others like humans would. They tend to be friendlier to humans. For example, some scribe fae may use their magic to give blessings to humans who are very special. Okay. Humans entering their territory, even if accidentally, may face elimination through the warrior's offensive magic. Caution is strongly advised when interacting with these. Nah, dog. I'm a little confused. They have Does she have the marks too? Hold on, somebody else had it. This one, maybe? Okay, this is Mrs. Moore. And the one with the coin. Oh, it's not her. I saw it. Okay, blue. Them two have the blue. And she has the blue. Huh. That don't tell me nothing. Okay, so there's different fae in this world, obviously. Can I not? Hold on. I can't end the investigation? Did I not look at everything? I could have sworn I did. Oh, these. Oops. Forgot about that. I was about to be like, what? Tools. Let's look at this again. Susan Moore. Come on now. Audrey. Edna. Okay. There's no mistaking it. Didn't mean to do that either. Can I not end the investigation now? I'm confused. Did I not look at everything? I could have sworn I did. We looked at the pictures. That was the first thing I did. We looked at the case files. Looked at all this. Oh, let me put the bug back. We looked at the ring. I'll look again too, but I still don't get why we not talking about this. But it's fine. Oh, wrong thing. I'm pretty sure I looked at everything. Why can't I exit? It won't say end investigation. And everything is back. Desk, record, tools, help. Press the button to, okay? What a button. Oh gosh. Don't tell me this stuck now. Nothing here, okay. I literally looked at everything. That's what I get for starting it over, huh? Ay, 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 ay. We looked at this too. Let me look at everything again then. Maybe there's something else to talk about. Something's odd with the fingers. Strange thing about the fingers. We've been invited to this. Makeup powder. The ring is gold. Parasitic Fae. Okay, put these back. Put that nasty thing back. Ugh. Are we gonna say something more about the pictures? Poor girl. I guess not. Wait, was that her hand? Yeah, we see it. Yeah, no, it's not telling me nothing new. I saw something on their hands. Okay. I also see something on their hands. End the investigation now. The end investigation button not even here, dog. Yeah, y'all, I don't know what to do now. I looked at everything. I'm gonna have to quit and go back in. Yikes, 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 yikes. I want to get another ending. That ending was so, I can't believe that. That name can stay. Taste powder at the, like, how many times I gotta shake this? Be realistic, be apologetic. Okay, y'all. Next. See, the end investigation button is not there. Am I tripping? Was it there the first time? I'm pretty sure it was. Y'all can't see, but it ain't there. Cause I know my face is there, but okay, let me do this one by one then. Looked at Audrey's. Looked at Susan's. Looked at Edna's. And looked at Mary's. There we go. Now we can end it. That's how I'm like, what the hell? Okay, but I started a new game, so I'm gonna look at, even though I'm skipping it because we've already played this, but I'm looking at it again. And then look at this. Okay, then we put it back. These family members got something going on. Something going on. A wedding ring. And I'm also look with the blue light. They had the blue sigils on them, which means they are scribe fairies. These two. These two are scribe fairies. And this one too. This music is bumping. Collared blouse is the victim. So this one here. Okay. The daughter and the father. This is the stepmother and the stepbrother. They are scribe fairies. The middle-aged woman in the pearl is the victim. Also a scribe fairy. Is it just her? Hold on. Yo, why that music started bumping like that? Yeah, it's only her and then them two. Okay. Perfect, perfect. Put that back, put that back, put that back. Oh, actually, are we gonna say anything about this? No. Okay. Let's burn up this coin. The texture looks interesting. Okay, burn it some more. Boom. Parasitic Fae. Alright, now I am gonna look at this book one more time. One more time. Tools. The scribes are supposed to be nice and they shouldn't be. Why is the music pumping like this? Okay. Many high fae have heightened powers. Although quite rare, some high faes can transform living beings into solid objects such as stone or bone. Okay. Two main factions of high fae, the scribes and the warriors. The scribes are known for their defensive magic and intelligence. The warriors are known for their power and their offensive magic. Meanwhile, the low fae faction is comprised of fae with limited parasitic magic. Okay. Black light. Okay. Scribe magic appears blue, warrior red, and parasitic purple. Scribe fairies are high fairies or high fays who are capable of expressing benevolence and kindness that is similar to humans' kindness, and they tend to be friendlier to humans. He literally married a human, so that makes sense. However, this kindness is only shown in the form of favor exchange, and they do not go out of their way to help others like humans would. The scribe magic that assists humans is contingent upon the favor that humans deliver to them. Some fays will give blessings. Okay, invisible markings such as sigils or birthmarks. These blessings can last through generations. Okay. okay? However, they may also use their magic as a curse, sometimes even deadly if they feel offended or insulted. I'm so confused. Okay, we know they're changeling too. So it has to be the warrior fairies then. Let me end this. Confirm. I'm locked in, y'all. Now that this is like... Okay, let's speak to her. I didn't the last time, so I'm gonna do it now. Are you sure? Yes. When I address my patron once more, regret colors my tone. Mr. Heckle, would you mind coming back another day? I have something crucial to discuss with the doctor at present. I understand. Okay. Thank you for dropping off those muffins. I'll see you soon, right? As soon as possible, I promise. I was about to be like, who the fuck is Augustine? It's me. I didn't change my name this time. I'm alone with the chemist again. Doctor, I might need your further assistance regarding the blood samples and also something more pressing. Okay. The detective consulted me this morning about an ongoing criminal case. It has been ashes for a long time now, and nothing has changed. Alright, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Swear your secrecy, I'm adept at keeping secrets. You need not worry. Those samples I analyzed are part of the investigation in this case, right? That's right. Let us begin. I tell her the facts of the case while she listens silently, all the while. When I finish, she has only one word to say to me. Interesting. Okay. Ask about the blood. It's weird, isn't it? That it doesn't contain iron at all, even though it looks just like human blood. Would you let me know if it ended up being a fairy after all? Only if I'm allowed. Is there any insight from chemistry as to why there would be no iron in a red-colored blood? Sadly, no. I'm just as puzzled myself. I found traces of arsenic in the blood sample. Okay. Actually, chemists do sell arsenic to common people to make their own weed killer and rat poison. I haven't done that in some time. Not since the university contract. But I'm sure the detective has his henchmen to collect purchase records from chemists all over the city. Don't you think? Okay. Ask her about the report. I've done my best to put all the details there, although I might have missed something regarding the curious blood sample. My parents' greatest achievement. It's one of the things I wanted to ask you, doctor. I don't know much about makeup. How popular is this powder among high society? The powder has been the craze lately among the upper class, since my parents have successfully gotten Mary Pickford to do its advertisement. That's it? Do you know these people? Okay, the other man here is the stepbrother. Do you know anything about these people? Could you tell me what you know of them? The biological parents passed away. She was adopted by her parents' trusted employees. Her biological parents left her an inheritance. Okay, then she was married out of love. They were hand in hand whenever they went. It's a sad thing. Her luck seemed to slip away just when she needed it most. While she sounds quite sympathetic, I can somehow sense a hint of jealousy in her voice. Let's get about the ring then. My, are you proposing to me, Professor? I'm afraid my heart still belongs to my late husband. Quietly, I slip the ring back into the box. Okay, she don't know nothing about that either. This is tomorrow's gala. I'll not be going there since the opera is playing. My late husband and I used to go there for one of our date nights. Okay, sadness leaks through her eyes even though the smile stays bright. I hadn't the faintest she's been married before. I spotted the detective at the Met during last month's performance. Don't piss me off. I never took him for an admirer of opera. Well, that's a new one on me. I don't need to know about that. Oh yes, I know her, although I can't recall her name. I saw her quite often at the auction, only for going for rare coins. Since I know where the game. Okay. We know she has that coin collection. We met once or twice at the clothing store and exchanged a few pleasantries. Occasionally, I would see her and her husband at various dinner parties as well. They were a lovely couple. There is no sound to be heard as she stares at the photograph for a little while. I wonder if this is too much for her. Is this Mrs. Wooldridge? It's a little difficult to recognize her because of the... well, she speaks with her usual sunny lids, which is quite surprising. I guess she has a strong stomach. Everyone knows her and her family, that's pretty sure. They're one of the richest in the city, the elites of the elites. Accordingly, their circle consists only of a few selective people, such as a patron, I imagine. Oh, and their family likes to hold charity events. If she did dabble, do you think maybe the manner of her death? Okay, we know the name of the place because of Oscar. Let's ask her about this girl. Do you happen to know this girl? Unfortunately, no. I wonder if she's seen worse death caused by chemicals. Okay. Let's ask her about the bug. A dead bug. Is this part of the evidence? Okay, she doesn't know anything about that. Are you sure you've gotten all the information you needed? I guess. I have no further questions. Okay. Now we can go back to investigating one more time. Record. Let's look at these blood samples. That one's fine. This one has purple and red blood. Oh gosh. I've read somewhere that most insects don't have. Okay. I guess it has to be the warriors if that's the case. He's supposedly close with the in-laws. This means the other two are the victim's adoptive parents. Related by blood, and the other two are just stepmother and stepfather. Now that we know this information, we're not going to say anything else on the sigils. Okay, still nothing to say about that. Okay. Let's put the tools back, end this investigation. Now we should be good. I'm gonna skip. This is where he comes in. Okay, is there fairy involvement? Yes, I'm certain of it. Okay. It cannot be the scribe killing these people. I'm gonna say warrior. Oh, can I save this? Save it right here. Save the data. Okay, warrior. What is the fuck, I keep clicking too fast. You see there's a glow of purple and red under the black light. How do the purple traces, or parasitic magic as you say, have a part in this? Parasitic underlings of warrior high fae help with the murders. The blood is fairy blood. Yo, these choices, dog! And I'ma save it! Hold on. Save that shit. I feel like if we pick either one, he's gonna be like, prove it. In turn, they will do anything the high faith asks, even killing. He seems perplexed. Something's not right. What else you got? Ugh! The dead fae, the rain, the photographs. Okay, how does this prove it doesn't? Can you see the glowing sigil on the left hand? Okay. Dead fae. All of these are just gonna show. I take it their bodies still glow even after they're dead. Correct. It takes a little while until their magic is fully okay. It honestly looks like a normal bug to me. I turn to the shelves and pick up one of the boxes containing a dead insect for my ongoing research. I found this one dying just yesterday. Swiftly, I put it underneath the black light. A normal one doesn't glow, you see. Quite interesting. And how does it end up here? A failed... The coin and the evidence turned into this when I put it, yes. Essentially revealing what it really was. So the third victim, Mrs. Niblet. What about her? Mr. Henkel says she has numerous coin collections. That particular coin must have been nearby when she met her fate. I need a moment to digest all this. I nod and take a moment to arrange the box neatly before putting it back on the shelves. There appears to be strong evidence pointing towards royal involvement. Based on what you showed me, parasitic fairies are one way or another connected to the manner of killing. But you also haven't told me how the warrior fairies killed the victim. Give it to me straight. How do you figure the murders were carried out? Warriors directed the underlings to sap life. Warriors replace victims with changeling and kill the changelings. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. They are changelings though. I'm gonna save this shit here too. Because I feel like it could be both. They did ask him to sap the life, but they are changelings. Changelings. I take out the crime scene photos with middle-aged victims and lay them out on the table. Using the magnifying glass, I showed them the hands. Okay, this is one of the abnormalities that is likely to happen due to complexity of transformation magic used in creating changelings. As famous as these ladies' family were, it would have been a big thing on the papers if they had 6 fingers from when they were children. I don't seem to remember anything like that in the newspapers. Do you? No, me neither. Theo looks away as though trying to remember all the newspapers he's read. It also explains the missing iron in the blood samples, since the corpses are not human. They then murder the changelings using ossification and hallucination magic. It is done to cover up what they really did to the real humans. It can be anything. The real humans might be kidnapped to the fairyland, destined to wed certain fairies and bring forth offspring, or being employed as a slave, or tortured for amusement until they die. I shiver at the thought of it happening to the poor ladies. Theo appears to be unsettled by the same thoughts as well. Hold on, are you saying that they might still be alive? There is a chance. Yet, the realm of fairies is still an enigma, even for those who study their kind. You're aware of how fresh this field is within academia, aren't you? Theo nods. It pains me to admit that I generally do not know how to get them back. I will keep trying nonetheless. We both fell silent, as though a heavy weight has settled in our throat, refusing to budge. We can also look at this case from another angle, the motives. Based on your investigation, what would be the rationale behind the warriors? They wanted to kill the scribes. It's difficult to pinpoint the reason why fairies do what they do since they don't follow human rules. However, I found warriors are targeting people blessed by the scribes. I think so. They all had the sigils on them. The 3 middle-aged are blessed by scribe Faries, shown by the sigils on one of their hands. I mentioned before that especially strong magic can be seen even through photographs. He answers by taking the black light out of my hand and checks the sigils himself. 2 sigils light up on Mrs. Woolger's family's photos and one on Mrs. Moore's. This sigil is a sign of being blessed by one of the scribe fae. It gives good fortune and is passed down through generations. That's how strong the magic is. Mrs. Moore was adopted. That's why it's only her who has it. Her late biological parents hailed from a distinguished and affluent lineage. Theo points at the faces in Mrs. Wooldridge's photographs, and he's the biologic father while the other two are stepfamily. I'm positively sure that should we check into Mrs. Niblett's family photographs, she and her children will display the same sigils. I'll see what I can do. Oh, and it's also meant as a warning for others not to harm the marked human. I guess that warning didn't work on this case, huh? No, it didn't. Well, I suppose this does make sense, and it's a pattern. This might be targeted murders. He then casts a glance my way with an air of satisfaction around him and breaks into a smile. Good job. My, considering how rare he gives commendations, this sounds like a compliment of a lifetime. Finally, because that last ending we got, I ain't like that. Thank you. Lastly, what if you found on the poor girl any connection to fairies? The chemist's report is similar to the case file. The blood is normal human blood, traces of arsenic. I didn't find any signs of fairy magic from the evidence. She mentioned that you might already be collecting purchase records from chemists all over the city. That's right. We're still investigating whether someone has a link to that girl. The chemic's family owns a cosmetic company that produces the makeup powder in the evidence. She said it is popular among the upper class ladies. I'm not sure if this is useful, or it is useful. I read that too fast. Every scrap of information counts. I ought to note down what we talked about today as well. Your findings really threw me for a loop. I forgot to take notes. While Theo was writing, I tidy up my desk and put the evidence back in the box. Anything else you got? That's all I have for now. He puts his notebook and pen back into his coat. When I gaze up at him, his expression seems to straddle the line between pleased and puzzled. Then a deeper crease forms between his brows. A tell when he's trying to connect the dots on information he just got. I suppose there's some evidence for fairy involvement. I certainly can't predict how the papers will handle this information we've gotten so far. Though, this might just be enough to keep the investigation going. There's a hint of disappointment in his voice that he's unable to hide. I think I just need more time. I really tried my best. I'm not sure you did? His words cut deeper than I cared to admit. What the fuck? I can't help but feel like a failure, even though I managed to find important things. I suppose only things aren't enough if they're not connected or if they're not making sense. Well, I'll work on keeping this case and making sure the press doesn't spin it into a circus. In the meantime, you should reinvestigate. Okay, I'll leave the box here for another day. Perhaps you'll find something new or see them in a new light. He glances at his... He's an asshole! Of course, you're not the type to linger and comfort the downcast, especially when it's one old fault. Because I picked one wrong choice. There's more work to be done. I lay out the evidence on the table once again, frantically searching for the things I've missed. I look at her in shock. When did she get in? Okay, we read all this already. I thought the detective came today to pick up the box. You're not wrong, but it appears there are things I ought to reinvestigate. Is there anything I can do to help? No, Minnie, I'm fine. Thank you for offering. I lean back in my chair and exhale deeply as a slight discomfort in the head creeps in. Actually, would you mind making me a cup of coffee? I'm thinking of staying overnight here. Okay, I feel blessed to have a hardworking assistant. I pull out the fairy encyclopedia and immerse myself in its pages. It seems the night has only just begun. Ending 4 not up to snuff. Ugh! I wonder how many endings there are. It doesn't have like a little what's it called it on there? Like an ending, not guide per se, but like, you know how they always have like the endings you have locked. There we go. You guys, that was Death and Faeology. I am gonna play this again because I need the other endings. That first ending we got, I got every single question wrong because I didn't look at the pictures, and that was terrible. So we had to run it back again, and then we just got the fourth ending. I'm screaming. I've been drinking this. It's like a hydration thing. Otherwise, yeah, my voice would have been crickling and crackling right now. But it's all right. It's all right. I am gonna play this again so we can get the other endings. I got ending 4 and 6. I just said it's cracking, and now my voice is like doing something weird. Yes, I got endings 4 and 6, so we will come back another day and finish out those other endings. Like I said, this game is part of the Ultimate Game Celebration out on Steam from May 4th to 11th. This game, and I'm also going to link Okami, which is the other game that these developers have come out with. The two games, I enjoyed them so much, and I hope you guys do as well. Like I said, throughout this week, we are only playing Ultimate games, so I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will catch you guys tomorrow in the next stream. The stream tomorrow will be earlier than the one for today, probably around 10-11 a.m. I appreciate you guys so much. Catch you guys later. Bye.